These next two guys are going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club. They will be there tonight and tomorrow night, 7:30 and 10 p.m. show. We welcome back our friend David Koechner. And we also would like to welcome Rob Maher to
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
We were told that Kathy would be here. Very upsetting.
So, David, back in Philadelphia, you've been here a few times.
Yeah.
And
It's always dangerous here.
is it dangerous to you particularly?
The station.
Oh, how so?
Last time it was the BB gun.
Crack
That's
shot.
right. You're here for crack shot.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
now there's a construction all over the place. You could die at any second from a head wound from
Oh, there
falling
you go.
debris.
At any
All right.
second.
Yeah,
Wow, all right.
absolutely. That's
We're
how
all wearing,
volatile it is.
we're all wearing our hard hats right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, it's good to have you back. You know, we also feel, because of the Goldbergs, you're an adopted Philadelphian anyway.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you about the spin-off series, which is it going to be named School? Do you know?
I think so.
Are you any part of that?
I'm not sure. I know I'm doing a bunch of Goldbergs this fall.
Okay.
And there's talk of maybe me going to do that one too, because the gal that plays my daughter is on
Lainey.
that one.
Yes. And she's so she's a continuing character.
But
you should be.
But they're 10 years apart. Because I think School's set in the 90s.
Yes.
And the other one's set in the 80s. So I don't know.
You can play 90s.
Okay, thank you.
It's for us here, you know, and now we've sort of, you know, obviously struck up a bit of a friendship, though never having met Adam in person, and with Cullen and Brian Callen and Tim Meadows has been. Tim Meadows, I think if we told you this, had no idea the series took place in Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh.
He's here. We told him it was a revelation
in our studio, and we told him, he's like, I didn't know it took place. And it was around here.
He thought it was on Netflix.
David, do you get asked or hired often to do characters? Like, do people say, I want, you know, I'll pay you however many dollars to come and do an event as champ or something like that?
No, I've never had that.
I wonder why.
Are you offering? What do you want to do?
Well, it's my
Rob, do you have any characters you do, Rob?
I think I have been offered that once, but I was not interested.
Because we've had comedians in who've done roles and they'll do corporate gigs or whatever.
Yes.
And so sometimes you'll show up at this corporate gig and be expected to be a comedian that corporation wants you to be at that particular show.
Yeah, that would be awful. That would be tough.
At this point in your career, I know, Rob, you're a seasoned comedian yourself. I mean, you know, but still, you know, you're. You know, I don't know.
I'll take worse gigs.
You'll take
Is what
worse
you're
gigs.
asking. Yes.
That's basically what I'm
You're
asking.
paying me. I'll do whatever.
Yeah. Have you ever done? Because for a few years I did stand up, and I was doing the most bizarre gig I ever did was for the parent company that made Aramis cologne. and it was very weird. But have you done anything like that?
I did a nudist resort in West Virginia.
A nudist resort in West Virginia.
Yeah. So just picture 60-year-old white people, fat and naked, and that's the audience. So I love them. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Did they come naked to the show?
Yeah, they.
That's the whole thing. They're living naked.
They're
That's
living
what
naked.
you're there for.
The hardest part was that's a weird word, but it's they have a buffet, and you're like, I can't eat around naked people. It's just you're looking it down the buffet line, and I don't want that. And it's really hot in there because they're naked and you're not, so you're hot. So it's very uncomfortable.
It's weird too with anything like that, whether it be a nude beach or you know, you would see nudies as a kid. You know, it'd be the classic playing volleyball and all that stuff. But those aren't the people that go to nudist colonies.
No, it's
They're
not
the people
sexual.
That,
It's
no,
very
not
it's
at all.
Free. This is who they are. They're old school hippies or something. That's the whole vibe.
Yeah, and it's
and it's West Virginia, so it just adds another element.
Right. Which I believe, and beautiful country, but and I think maybe you guys will verify, the dumbest place in the country by far.
I don't know. I've been to Florida.
Florida's our Germany, we call it, because the amount of stories Preston doesn't feature, 80% of the stories out of that feature are from Florida.
Yeah, we have a jingle called Florida Man.
Oh,
Anytime there's a story that leads with a Florida man, you know it's going to be a good one, and we have this jingle.
Florida Man, Florida Man.
It's just its own little
I should have said that we're playing Florida at the end of August.
yeah, back to Orlando. We were in Tampa earlier.
Yeah.
So
Tampa's
by the
not
way,
bad.
You two guys, you're touring right now. Does your relationship go way back?
Sexual.
Or? A sexual relationship.
Purely sexual.
At a nudist. We play
That's where we
nudist.
met,
You
right?
met at a nudist colony.
He was naked, and I saw. Yes, I want more
He
of
was
that.
by the potatoes au gratin.
Yes.
No, we met 4 or 5 years ago in D.C., where that's your hometown.
Yeah, we did this club outside D.C. I just happened to work with them, and then we hit it off, and then we've probably done 10 weeks,
With stand-up with comedians who are seasoned and travel around a lot, you have an opener that you sort of rely on.
Yeah,
and
then you're like, you know what you're getting. You know you're going to
sets the crowd right.
Yes. The whole show's going to be great. You don't have to worry about digging out a hole. Plus, Rob doesn't have any kid stuff that he does.
Right, yeah.
So, pardon me, sorry. I don't want to have to tell whoever my opener might be, like, hey, do you have kid stuff? You can't do it.
Right.
Because I got 5 kids.
Oh my God.
Right. If someone eats up your material,
Guess what I'm
and I have 0 kids.
Yeah. Age range of your kids?
A-frames?
No, age range.
No.
I do a lot of A-frame jokes.
Thank you.
It's a big architecture act.
Yes, very niche.
And then I finish with the geodesic dome.
Very
It's my closer. Come on.
Our Buckminster Fuller is your. That's hilarious.
Charlie is 19. Margot is 16. Sergeant and Audrey are 12.
Sergeant is a great name.
Yeah, is right.
Yeah.
And then Eve is 7.
Okay.
Wow.
I sat by on the
7
way
to
out
19.
here. I came to New York to do a thing for Misfits and Monsters. Bobcat Goldthwait's new
The new series.
Yeah.
Our video guy Nick was telling us telling me about it. It sounds really cool. It's like a Twilight Zone-ish, Black Mirror-ish sort of deal.
It's an anthology series.
You play a werewolf politician.
I play a politician that turns into it's an allegory story of the current clown that's in the White House. It's an evil guy, but he happens to be a werewolf.
Right.
And so,
And they're like, so do you have anything in your history?
yeah. Well, I'm a werewolf. Anything else? Ate a toddler once. When I was a werewolf.
Yes.
And then people find out about him being a werewolf, and he still gets elected.
There you go.
Because then they got people going, I want a werewolf in the White House.
Right.
Who inspired you? Who got you going in your early days of comedy? Because I think everyone has, 1 or 2 people that just, this is.
Sure.
This
I
is
loved
it.
Sam Kinison. That was my first true comedian love.
Kinnison was unbelievable, and I've told these guys it's a story. It's the Huntington Yacht Club. I'm from New York, and Kinnison, you talk about bombing. He was playing. Someone inappropriately booked him into this very hoity-toity, Grey Poupon sort of yacht club.
Whoops.
And so he's up on stage, and he's just barrel-assing through the show. And at the end, he ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know, I wipe my ass with a list of your sacred dead.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh.
But Kinnison for you as well, or who?
I was more of a sketch and improv background. So for me, coming up, it's Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, Monty Python, the
Were you
early
Laurel and
Saturday
Hardy?
Live. Pardon?
Laurel and Hardy fan as well?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Not as much. Like, Abbott and Costello was really my thing, because I'd watch it with my dad on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah.
Chick.
That's one of my favorites.
But you know what? If you look at those movies and movies that I love, like, the pacing is so atypical of pacing in movies
I know.
today.
It's patient.
Long, single takes that are just... And unless you've had a bit of experience with that, you're going to hate it.
Yeah. Although my son Charlie's now decided to be an actor out of nowhere. And
Really?
So, yeah. Last year he was going to go to college, and a week before I was going to write the first check, he goes, "Yeah, Dad, and he's acting like he's playing basketball in the house. He's got a great shock of hair. Good-looking kid, 6'4". He goes, I think he'll be an actor, a successful actor. I'm like, okay, well, that's the good kind to be. But I assume it's kind of like a firefighter thing. Like, well, I'll just go do what Dad does.
Yeah.
And because I've been very fortunate. I've always worked. There's never been a time in the house where it's like, oh, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So he thinks, well, I'm better looking than that guy. So this has got to be easy.
Yeah, I'm hot, so
Yes.
obviously people want to put me on camera.
And he's not entirely off base when it comes to that, but there's some other stuff involved, too.
Well, but you never know. It's one of those things, like, if you've got that confidence and you assume it's going to happen,
Yeah.
it can.
It can, yeah.
And he's good looking. He's got James Dean hair.
Well, who's that guy? Craig Ferguson, right? right? He lived in the United States for a week before he got his first gig.
Is that right?
Something along those lines. Because listen, if
The
you
Drew
have
Carey show?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. And it's as simple as that.
I just saw Paul Rudd on Colbert. He's promoting Ant-Man, and he was talking about a charity event that you're a part of because you guys are both from Kansas City.
Well, I'm from near there. My wife's from KC, but yeah.
Okay, and it was to benefit a hospital?
Children's Mercy Hospital.
That's awesome.
We raised $2.2 million this year.
That's what grabbed my attention. That is a staggering amount of money.
It was nice, yeah. So it's Rudd, myself, Riggle, Stone Street, and Sudeikis, all from Kansas City or the Kansas City area. And then we bring a bunch of our celebrity buddies in from all over the, Kansas, from New York and California.
And what's the event? What do you? Is it stand-up?
What we do is we do we do a softball game. We go visit the kids at Children's Mercy, and then we do a softball game at Kauffman Stadium, which is Royals Park. And people get upset if they call it Royals Park, but it's Kauffman Stadium, and on the field. And then we sit and watch that in the dugouts. We get all these sponsors that pay a lot of money to go hang out, and we hang out with them for a little bit. The next day we go visit the kids again. Then we have a big bowling event where people can pay to bowl with celebrities, so it's another level of fundraising. And then we have a big show auction that night.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Were you invited to that, Rob, or no?
No, I was actually uninvited. The kids don't want you.
There's just no kid. The kids specifically requested you not show up.
And for the kids, I didn't show up.
Anything. That's the kind of caring person you are.
I went to Florida with Marissa.
Yes.
I kept calling her Kathy. It was weird.
I didn't mind, though, awkwardly.
David Koechner and Rob Maher.